Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Get ready. The 42nd International Reg and World Music Award Show is coming to the Coral Springs Center for the Arts, Fort Lauderdale on Sunday, March 20, 2025. Celebrate the biggest names in reggae and world music as we bring nations together through music and culture. Early bird tickets are on sale now. Don't miss out. Grab yours today at thecentercs.com or irama.com and book your stay for an unforgettable weekend. Hurry, prices go up after Thanksgiving. Follow us on social media and visit our website, www.irawma.com for more details. The 42nd Irama Show, where the world comes to celebrate music.
Numerovation with King Simon. Text me now at 347-496-1022. You can also take my course if you want to, but do text me for your sessions at 347-496-1022. You can also get my books on Amazon at Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. Remember, you can book your session and get it done right now. 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. King Simon the Numerovator. Yes. Greetings, family. Greetings, family. What's up? It's your brother King Simon in the building. How y'all doing today? I don't have no floating backgrounds, but I'm going to establish one right now. Where's my floating background at? There you go. Float around. Float on. We're going to float on today. Oh man, we got a special guest coming up at the top of the hour. We are approximately 6 minutes before 9 o'clock on the East Coast, and we got this beautiful lady coming in. Neena Dunham will be here, aka Neena Diamond, talking about her book. Lord have mercy, this book looked like it sounded like a shroom trap. This book was like, I thought I was on shrooms reading that book, but it was a very good book. As I'm going through it, and I got some questions I had to mark off inside this book because she really took us on a journey in this book. And the book is called Harmony's Vow, the untold story of crack, the rock of ages. And that's why I named the program Healing Through the Rock of Ages. It's not just any crystal. We're talking about crack. And this is going to be a very interesting topic coming up at the top of the hour. Just want to remind everybody, please join my membership. It's only $9.99. You know how we do. A lot of lessons are going on. Today, we taught a great lesson from one of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's quotes about the big field of course, awaits the wide awake man and woman to work out in. That was a very good breakdown of the numbers. People are really enjoying that. The numbers have already gone up on that. And if you want to sponsor any of my programs, you know the deal. This is the sponsorship. All you have to do is either text me immediately at 347-496-1022, or you can actually email me at askthenumerovator@gmail. Remember, this coming Sunday, we have Jamel Simmons, Russell Simmons' nephew, Danny Simmons, the artist's son. He's going to be with us with the new book that he called The Civil Lizard, the Reptilian Ruler Class, coming and coloring book. Very good book. I have it right here on my shelf. And don't forget, Cheyenne Black is going to be here with me, speaking from the heart, spoken word artist, musician. She's going to be here live and direct. 5 more minutes. We have Neena Dunham coming in the building. Don't forget, Lloyd has a power series coming up. Make sure you go to Linktree/numbers and you. And remember, he has something coming up on February 25th, learning the art of numerology as a career. Don't forget, my girl Kendall Cobbs is coming in on January the 22nd. That's going to be off the hook. Make sure you hit her up at her website, Hypnosis with Kendall. She has done great work with me. And you can hit her up at the 1-800 number right there. And big up to Paris. Paris Williams will be at the New Black Wall Street at Neena Diamond spot from 2 to 7 on January the 25th. We're going to have a good time. I'll be there. A lot of you, I think Brother Rich might be passing through and all that kind of stuff. So y'all need to come on through at the New Black Wall Street over there in Stonecrest, Georgia. And don't forget, on the 26th, we have Professor James Smalls and Professor Griff going to be in the building right here. And then after that, I want to tell y'all the rundown. This is a calendar, but I'm going to do separate flyers for each one of them. Adara Moselle, February 2nd. Wayne Lightworker, February 5th. Ross Kofi, February 9th. Abundance Child and John Carr, her husband, on February the 12th is going to be in the building. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, share, like, and do what you like. And for the first time on my channel, Brother Tony, he is the one who handles the Meta Center for Dr. Blair right now. First time ever. He don't really like doing interviews, but we're going to be doing a tribute to Dr. Blair on Dr. Blair's born day, February 13th, right here on my channel. And don't forget, on February the 16th, we have Dr. Philip Valentine and Brother Sabir Bey going to be in the building. And on February 8th, this is almost sold out. So if you ain't got your tickets, you better get it in right now. 9 Ether God Fest, February 8th at the New Black Wall Street from 7 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. It is a night event. It is a nightly event. It's going to be beautiful. Big up to my moderators in the building, of course, Color Curiosity. Make sure you support what she's doing. Look, feng shui your wardrobe and your house with Color Curiosity. She can help you with that. Dr. Shakira Moore just did an excellent master class on her page there just now, private, of course. Make sure you go to a Linktree /Holistica Healer for the private recording if you want the recording. And remember, her new book called The Iris Papers is coming out. Iris Papers, pre-order on February 15th. Make sure you support that. Don't forget also, AdaraMoselle.com. That's AdaraMoselle.com. Make sure you support her. She clears energy. She does free consultation. Tell her King Simon sent you, and you know what it is. And remember, get her book called Higher Self and Harmony through Linktree /AdaraMoselle.com. Again, big up to Paris Williams, of course, coming into Georgia. But this is her Instagram, her YouTube, and her website. And don't forget, make sure y'all support. If y'all want to do your taxes, not only in America, but in Canada, please text my brother DTR Taxes at 862-314-6039 and tell him that King Simon sent you. Big up to the cartomancy expert, the one, the only, Amira. Make sure you hit her up at this number right here in the chat. And big up to my son. He came to visit me today, JB. Big up to him. He's doing pressure wash, car detailing, dumpster wash in the Metro Atlanta area. And my other son that has a recording studio to help you with your audio books and all that good stuff. He can help you. Just give him a call at 929-456-3009. And remember, if you want to book a session with me, I have 13 slots left. Text me your full name, date of birth, and email, and I will help guide you and numerate you in the best way I can. Look out for the new books coming out. Go to get my books on Amazon. My new book is coming out, of course. Numerational angles and an angel number book. Don't forget, my children's book is coming out around, of course. And don't forget, my autobiography is coming out in 2026. All right, now, look here. Without further ado, we're going to bring on my guests. Lord have mercy. She's Brooklyn's own, man, but we've been having fun over here in Georgia. And I want y'all to give her a well-deserved round of applause. This sister is not only my guest, she's also an author, cardologist, of course, astrologist, numerologist, student of all sciences, certified life coach, Emmy Award winner. And you better hit her up at IG. And remember, hit her up at all the links she got here. That's 11university.com, her website, her link tree, /peace. 157. Spread love via Cash App right there, and also via PayPal by her email. Without further ado, we're going to welcome on the stage back to King Simon Presents the one, the only Neena Diamond. Take yourself off of mute, girl. Take yourself off of mute. How you doing? How you doing?
Hey, I'm off of mute, boy. That was something, boy. you be tripping.
I just do what I used to do at SOB.
I know that's right.
I've done all of this. I've done all the major platforms, the major stages in New York, so I know what I do.
I know that's right.
How you been? What's going on, girl?
Yeah, everything, nothing. You know, the year has come in hot. The year has come in hot, and I really can't call it. I'm waiting patiently, but it has been 9 energy, you know, it has been nining for sure. So
definitely
just doing what I'm doing out here in these streets.
These streets. But you know, that 9, you know, I was listening to another numerologist, a European guy, and he said he don't like the 9 because 9 is not really humanitarian. I said, no, that is not true. It can be a destructive number, but it is a humanitarian number, because whatever destruction is happening in California is bringing out the humanitarian of a lot of people, which is quite interesting.
That part, right? That part.
And that's what I love. You know, that's what I love. And I think that is that very important part of that. And I guess, you know, to not be disingenuous, I wish people like that would always give both sides and not just give one side because of his experience. And that's why I tell people, you might do cardology or numerology or astrology, but you're going to have it from your experience, not every, you know, and your experience might not agree with everybody else's experience. Let's look at that, because I might attract numbers that you might not attract. So It is what it is. So, and that's what I've noticed with certain people. And I want to, you know, of course, you're author of a few books. Matter of fact, I got, of course, 369 Manifestation Journal. I got that. Of course, I got Cardology University Planner. I got that. Of course, I got your new Reiki book. Of course, I got that. But the book that I've been focusing on is this one right here, Harmony's Vow, The Untold Story of Crack and the Rock of Ages. Now, woo, man, this book here, child. When I say that from the first page, you took me down. You made it seem to me. You made this whole story, this whole thing seem like a shroom experience. Yeah, it's like you was taking a shroom, because the way you said that the universe unfolds and this and all that. Let me read to them what you said first. And on the 5th page, it says, and I'm not going to read the whole book. I'm just going to break down what caught my eye from the beginning. It says, I was 29 years old when my life took a turn towards the extraordinary. That the day I met Violet. At that age, I believe I had seen enough of the world to not be surprised by much, but yet nothing could have prepared me for Violet, a being, a machine, or perhaps a phenomenon that defied all my understanding of reality. What does that mean from your perspective? Go into that, please.
Well, you know, there was so much going on during that time, right? And in my life, and of course in the world, and that I saw the two worlds kind of colliding, right? Because as families, we were on top of the world, you know, in my community. Families were ebbing and flowing and doing the things that they were doing, but something was shifting. And the shift was the shift, for whatever reason, you know, with so many reasons why crack was introduced into our community. But the shift went away from the nuance of family and how we felt to crack now taking the place, right? So that's what I saw. I saw it, you know, I wasn't, I wasn't using crack, but I was in the fray of crack addicts, right? So I saw how the disillusionment of family and stuff affected, and then crack came along, and it seemed like this was going to be the thing that was going to give that back, but of course we know that didn't happen.
I mean, it was quite interesting because when you went into the story, you you said Val was not a creature of flesh and blood, nor was it a simple machine. It was a transparent vehicle, unlike anything known to man, with contours that shimmered in the sunlight, revealing its insides where a singular rock rested. Not just any rock, but one that pulsed with an inner light, casting shadows that seemed to dance and twist around Val's interior. It was mesmerizing, also almost alive in its own right. You see how you describe that? You make people want to go do it.
That's what it did, right? That's what I believe was the pull, the draw, was the mystic and magical. In some movies, even in the streets, Brooklyn, but you could see how people will hold that vial, right?
Yes.
And you could see where we wouldn't want to say magic, but it was magic to the person who knew they were getting ready to use it, right? And that first, the thing about crack is they're always chasing that first hit. That first hit is like, I need that back. So think about, for me, it all began because I was at 29, which is my first Saturn return, but it began like 27, 28. When my then husband, started dabbling in it.
Wow.
So during that time, the stress of it, I never knew anything. I couldn't feel anything because it was the stress of it. But fast forward to all of those decades later, that I got a chance to see it in a metaphysical form.
That part.
Yeah.
I think that was very important that you pointed that out, because I mean, like I said, when you described it, I was like, because I usually read before I go to bed. It shouldn't be a bedtime story for me, but I should have read it when I woke up, because you start dreaming about stuff going on. Because at one point you said in 1987 was also a year of loss. And with each truth that came to light, a piece of the world I knew flew away, leaving gaps that could never be filled. Friends drifted into the realms of acquaintances, and some relationships were severed entirely, unable to withstand the tumultuous changes that enveloped my life. Now, what do you mean by that? What was happening around that time that your friends became acquaintances and people started distancing themselves from you?
Well, I was working for Department of Family and Children Services, and to see the devastation of families. You're driving down the street, you could see young ladies outside. I mean, it was devastating. You could see young ladies outside selling their bodies for rock, and people were like anesthetized to it, like it wasn't a horror where it should be a horror.
Right.
And you could see the, there was no light in their eyes anymore. Like I had a client who always came into the center, and she was signing in the morning, and I knew I wouldn't see her till like 4:00 because she wanted to see me, but she couldn't sit there. She would come back in the evening time because she had to be out on the streets making that money to get her rock. So there was a separation in the family, because that was a tough time. That was a really tough time because there was no connection. There was no connection with you and that person that was now doing that. There was no connection at all. And I didn't know it. I didn't know it at that time. This was the father of my children. And I watched him just slip away.
Right.
And I had no, really there was nothing that I could do. It wasn't until he got to the place where he started to blame me for it. When I woke up, I was like, oh no. I had lived through dope fiends with heroin and all of that kind of stuff. So I knew the dope fiends. So crack was a whole different thing. That was crackheads were some shifty people, they were very manipulative, right? So I didn't see the same, the transition. I didn't see it with the dope fiend because that slowed down. Crack sped it up. That was a different kind of pace in my family with my children and with him, the dance of disappearing and coming back and payday. Don't have no money, all of that I didn't get a chance while I was living it to really absorb the metaphysical part of it. Right? Because when crack, if you take and put two worlds side by side, where we had the world what crack was trying to create in our families. Right. Our families was the high, our families were the thing that you couldn't get enough of, personally for me, that was my best friend. So that was the thing that you came together, and that how I was describing, that nirvana and all of that family joy brought, and it just stepped into the realm of crack. Mirrored it. I think crack mirrors what we wanted to have, but because it was so potent and destructive, it tore families apart.
And you're absolutely right, because I was growing up during that era. As a matter of fact, back in 1985 is when I accepted Islam in 84. I accepted Islam in 84. So I was in the Ansar Allah community on Bushwick Avenue by 85, all the way till 88. So when that thing was going on, Islam had already got me. So I was away from that friend. We used to, if you remember us in the White Rose back in the day, used to walk and we used to pedal and try to convert. So we used to see this on the street all the time. But when I'm reading your book, I thought you was doing the crack, but it was really somebody next to you doing the crack. It was somebody.
I was doing the crack too, but I was doing the crack. Okay, so I wasn't a crackhead, but I was metaphysically doing the crack.
Okay, explain that, because so that means you was a functional metaphysic crackhead.
Yes. I was a functional metaphysical crackhead. I wasn't doing the crack, but I was experiencing it in that world, the separation. Now I can look back and see the separation that I didn't, then it was just like the destruction of my family, my community, and everything. But I could see, I was chasing it. I wasn't chasing crack, but I was chasing that thing that I missed and that I lost in my family, right?
Right. So. And one of the parts you said in 87 also was the year my destiny changed forever. It was the year I forgot who I was, only to discover who I was meant to be. Talk about that, please.
I got, I had my two daughters, which, Aquarius Maximus and my other daughter, Tanja. And I wanted a son. Now, my husband wasn't, he was my common law husband, and he raised them for 10 years, right? And I wanted a son, and he said, okay, we can have a son. Now, that was kind of like the beginning of the end. Whatever happened whatever happened with that responsibility of having his own child and crack hitting at the same time, it just blew us apart. So 6 months in, my son was born in 88. So through, from 87, I was pregnant. So that was pretty devastating to watch this man who wanted a child and wanted our family go in, and all of a sudden now he's doing crack. So that was, me looking at it from this perspective, I can see it so differently now. But back then, we were just trying to make sense of it. We were just trying to make sense of what the heck is happening.
Now, how does this affect your children? Those two girls that you started, and how did that affect your two earlier children? How did that?
Well, I kept them as far away from it as possible. So yeah, I didn't, I sheltered them, as much as possible from, what we were having difficulties, but it wasn't known to them. They were children that it was because of crack. It was because of, difficulties that we were having. So, and then my son was just 6 months old when we finally separated. So,
and as they got older, have they understood it? Did they attract the same type of individuals in their life too? Do you know this or no?
No, they didn't attract those same kind of individuals. Not by no strange coincidence. My first real husband turned out to be a crackhead. So, yeah, I'm just saying this is why I attracted it, right? How did I attract that into my life was my question. So the metaphysical journey started with cardology because the card of crack is a 10 of hearts. And 10 of hearts is about the gathering of people, coming together and joyous celebrations and all of that kind of stuff. And I take that back to our family gatherings that we did that came to a big halt because crack came along, and it's like, you can say I'm going to show up, but I didn't. But the 10 of hearts is a MasterCard. 10s are MasterCard. 10s are masters, as you know. And hearts are emotions. So crack it's like, for me, you were chasing that. You knew what you wanted and you were trying to get there. And you're never they were always chasing it. And the 10 of hearts is Mars, Jupiter. So Mars is how we do what we do, but Jupiter expands upon it. So if you chasing crack, Jupiter just makes it bigger than life, right? So that was the metaphysical journey of wanting the community, wanting community support and all of the things that comes along, because the 10 of hearts represents graduations, weddings, all of the things that we do together is done under that energy, right?
Right. And, family, those that are just tuning in with Neena Diamond, aka Dunham, the author and cardologist. She's a practitioner of cardology, astrology, numerology. She's a student of all the sciences, actually, metaphysics science, certified life coach, Emmy Award winner, and of course, you can hit her up at diamonds for _H. She's also on what's that other platform? Yeah, Clubhouse. She's also on Clubhouse. Make sure you hit her up via Linktree, 11university.com. Of course, Linktree /peace157, and hit her up at, of course, spread love via Cash App for her. Of course, Cash App right there, Uranus, $ Uranus or Uranus, whatever we're gonna call it, 157, and PayPal. Hit her up, do the email. PayPal is diamonds857@gmail. Another thing I want to read from this beautiful book, man, and it's not a long read. It's a nice, intimate book, I could say, because it read up to like 91 pages, 92 pages. And you said, our journey led us to realms that defied explanation, where the laws of physics were mere suggestions and the fabric of reality twisted and turned in impossible ways. There were places of beauty and terror, realms where ancient beings dwell, entities whose existence had been hinted in the myths and legend, but whose true nature were beyond human comprehension. Yo, that caught me off guard, because I know when I go into my astro travel and I experience certain entities, it's like, yo, so wait a minute, what was happening in that part of your life that you even described it that way?
Yeah, I was watching my life from a different perspective. It's like I had my family and then I didn't. Right. So I was going through the motions of, and at that time, I wasn't the breadwinner.
Right.
So I had to get myself together and get a better job, right? And people came from all over. I mean, ancestors and neighbors and all kind of people came and were behind the scenes saying, okay, it was my Saturn return, right? So they were behind the scenes saying, oh, we got to get her. She got to leave all this behind. It's like, how do I leave my family behind? So I had to make some decisions, and they just took me by my hand and walked me through everything. It was so metaphysical and so beautiful till it was just, even till today, when I think about the chain of events that got me from there to becoming a social worker. Because of that, I had to get a job that was going to sustain the family, because he wasn't doing that. He was working for all intents and purposes, but by the time he got to me, he didn't have nothing to give. So
right.
I had to develop, I didn't know. I promise you, I didn't have a clue. And now looking at the book, I'm looking at the magical, all of the magical things that were happening around me, that was sheltering me and helping me. And that's my journey with crack. It's like,
and you didn't realize that at the time, did you?
I didn't realize it.
Right. But
right.
I see in the book, right. I can tell. And I'm telling you, man, when I tell y'all need to delve into this book. Because, and again, it's like 90-something pages, a very easy read. Harmony's Vow, the untold story of crack and the Rock of Ages, because a lot of people assume that the Rock of Ages is dealing with crystals and all that. But I want you to explain briefly the Saturn return. What is that in cardology and astrology? Please explain what Saturn is, so people will understand what Saturn returns.
Every 29 years. Every 29 years, Saturn returns. And Saturn return, it wants you to let go of stuff that you no longer, you going into your next cipher, which is 30. So that 29th degree is critical. It's like, do you want to take this with you? 29 is what? What is 29? 9 and 2.
Yep. Yeah, one of the most, those two can be the most devastating numbers together.
Yes.
In numerology.
Yeah. You're gonna master something, right?
Yeah,
whether you like it or not, you can get, you're gonna get dragged, or and it was a very like I said, it was a very interesting time for me, because of the protection that I was under, because of the ancestors and the spirit guides and all of them, and my side of the crack, and then his side of the crack. So they were coming together. They were gliding. They were, it was like a head-on thing. It was like, he was like, yeah, she can't make it without me. She's going to crash. She's not going to be able, it's like I was chasing my crack and he was doing his crack, right?
Wow.
And my crack was the community. It was people who was like, oh no, you're going to do this. We're going to see you through this and all of this kind of stuff. So that Jupiter, Mars crack is a 10 of hearts. There's Mars, Jupiter. Jupiter is the collective. Jupiter is, the society at large. It's a social planet. So my community came and rallied around me. Right. So my metaphysical journey with crack was colliding with his physical, because he was like, she's never gonna make it. Right. But the community rallied around me, and it was it was just a beautiful dance of getting a whole new job at 29. So when I stepped into 30, it was like, okay, I could do this. My salary doubled overnight. So that was my metaphysical journey with that high. I was high as a kite, scared and high, and trying to keep that high going. I was like, we gotta keep this high going. I got 3 kids. I gotta make this happen. We ain't being homeless. We ain't doing. And I was going through what I was going through, but I didn't want to bring my family into it. My parents, I didn't want them to worry about me and stuff like that. So I shouldered a lot of this on my own.
And right there at that point, there's a part of on the 13th page, you said, with Val by my side, it sounded like you was about to start a love song. With Val by my side, I stepped forward into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges laid ahead. For I now knew that the journey was not just about discovering the secrets of the universe, but about discovering the true potential within myself. I thought that was a love song right there. What? Come on now. Come on, talk.
Yeah. I was scared to death. I was like, I was making back then. I think I was making like $300 and something every 2 weeks. I was scared to death. I was like, I know, because he took care of the bills. My little money was my little money, and I was like, yeah, what are you gonna do?
Right.
So that transition from me seeing myself, documented on paper, people were creating resumes for me. I was like, but we can't lie on the resume. They said, did you do this? So, okay, you're not lying, right? So it was a beautiful dance, and getting to, from a friend telling me that they were hiring, and then the resume, and then going in for the interview. I went in for the interview and I was sitting there staring straight ahead. I said, because this is useless. I don't know. And the lady was like, write this, write that, just write this, write this. She gave me the application and she told me everything, how to fill it out. So my high, I kept, that motivation that I was chasing, because I needed to support my family.
Of course.
So that was my experience with the 10 of Hearts.
Women are amazing people. Men, from their perspective, are too, but women are amazing people, especially when it comes to, if a man is going through stuff and they can't handle what they're supposed to handle as a man, women will just take on the whole mantle of the masculine and the feminine together. Still being feminine, but yet they know they have to kick some backside because the man ain't there. And in one part of the book, girl, let me tell you, you said, the narrative resonated deeply with me, echoing the sentiments of the energy being. Was I the traveler foretold in their legends? Was this the purpose that bound me to vow? The mission that had been set before us? You were asking yourself questions at that point. I was on page 16. You were like, what brought out, because there was a lot of questions asked throughout the book. Why did the questions come up? And what did you do to answer those questions within yourself?
The questions came because I didn't think I could do it. I was like, I can't do it. I was sheltered. I was sheltered. I was doing what I was doing on my level, but I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to raise 3 kids. I'm not going to be able to do these things, because it was still the exchange of him seeing the kids and coming back and forth and disappearing for weeks and months at a time. So I was like, this is just too much, so that was the questions that I was having. And I was led to the community for those answers, because the community always showed up. And that's Mars, Jupiter. You're doing what you're doing, your passion, your drive. And then you step out into into society. Jupiter rules society. So I stepped out into society with my faith. My faith was, I had to make it happen. I had to do this. I'm an 8. The 8, I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm going to keep on doing it because as long as I do it, I know I'm going to be successful.
Yes.
So that was my plan, was just keep whatever it is, get up every day and keep going, right? And I went to the mailbox and the letter was there and it says, you hired. And I was like, oh my God. Wow. And in New York, you got to take a test to get these city jobs, right?
Yes, that's right.
that year they waived the test. So that's why I was saying my ancestors were, because I don't pass tests. That's not what I do. So my ancestors were behind the scenes and they waived the test. So I didn't have to take the test that year.
Wow.
Right. So that they call, I forget what they call it, but you get the job and then they put you, I don't know if they put you on the list, I don't know, whatever it is, but for you to become permanent, there's you take the test, you permanent. But when you come in off the street, you're not permanent. So some kind of way they put you in some kind of, I don't even remember how it goes back then. I've been out of that for so long. But then I became a permanent city worker.
Yeah, we're gonna take a hard break, but Neena, your story is out. We're gonna take a hard break and come back, family. We got to go quick commercial break and come back. But Neena, your story again, family. Make sure y'all get her book, and her book is on the website. It's on the website, right? You can get to the website, levinuniversity.com, or go to the link tree and all that. Harmony does. I want to talk about other things after this because I know this cardology help, but I do have a few more questions after this. But People, we're going to take a hard break and we will be back after this. I'm sorry that I have to treat this like radio, but people are sponsoring and, helping me out. So I know how this works. We'll be right back after this.
Get ready. The 42nd International Reggae and World Music Awards Show is coming to the Coral Springs Center for the Arts, Fort Lauderdale on Sunday, March 20, 2025. Celebrate the biggest names in reggae and world music as we bring nations together through music and culture. Early bird tickets are on sale now. Don't miss out. Grab yours today at thecentercs.com or irama.com and book your stay for an unforgettable weekend. Hurry, prices go up after Thanksgiving. Follow us on social media and visit our website, www.irawma.com for more details. The 42nd Irama Show, where the world comes to celebrate music.
It's the numerational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now. That's right. We are melanated and beautiful. It is now 30 minutes after the hour right here all over the world. It's 30 minutes after the hour, 30 minutes before the top of the hour. Welcome back. Your brother King Simon is speaking with Neena Dunham, a.k.a. Neena Diamond. Oh, yes. Remember, family, please join my membership. You can just press that join button, and guess what? It's only $9.99 per month. You get all the lessons that I've been teaching. Interviews are always out. It's not in that unless it's the private interviews that I have. But definitely all the lessons that I've been teaching on YouTube and breaking it down from different perspectives is all on that membership. So don't feel afraid to join the membership. It's only $9.99 per month. Remember, this coming Sunday, I got a doubleheader. Jamel Simmons, Danny Simmons' son is going to be here. Russell Simmons' nephew is going to be in the building. And don't forget, Cheyenne Black is going to be speaking from her heart. She's a musician and she's a spoken word artist doing the great things that she does. Big up to Lloyd Strahorn. Got some events coming up on the 21st and also the 25th of February. Big up to Kendall Cobb. She's coming in the building. That's going to be live and direct. Remember, coming to Neena Diamond spot over there at New Black Wall Street. Paris Williams is going to be doing a book signing over there from 2 to 7 p.m. Don't forget Professor James Smalls is going to be in the building with Professor Griff. And don't forget my calendar in February. Adara Moselle, Wayne Lightworker, Roz Kofi, Abundance Child, and her husband John Carr is going to be in the building, and I'm doing a tribute to Delbert Blair on a special day, the Thursday. And don't forget, on the 16th, we got the live and direct. Two hard hitters, man, Dr. Philip Valentine and Brother Sabir. And on the 8th of February, I'm going to be celebrating my birthday over there on the 8th of my birthday, February 1st. But we're going to have a little birthday party around my bending table. 9 Ether God Fest from 7 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. Big up to my moderators in the building. Look out for Shakira Moore's new book, The Iris Papers. And big up to Adara Moselle and whatever she's doing and however she do it. Keep it going. All right, we are back. Let me bring up again my dear friend, the one, the only Neena Diamond in the building. Neena.
What up?
What up, though? I'm going directly. One more question. I think 2 more questions out of the book, and then I'm going to go to your Reiki and all the stuff that you're doing in here. I touch about the cardology and the importance of getting consultation. You said in the book on page 16, you said the narrative resonated deeply with me, echoing the sentiments of the energy being. Was I the traveler? No, I already asked that question. No, there's another question I wanted to ask. Where is it at? I had another question I wanted to ask. Where is it at? Okay. Oh, it says Vile proved to be an invaluable ally in these conflicts. Its abilities transcending the physical to touch the very essence of existence. The rock within, this is what you said, the rock within, now a beacon of pure pulsating energy, seemed to guide us, offering protection and power in our moments of greatest need. What are you saying there? Please.
Yeah. Looking, this, I got this because I met someone a couple of 2 years ago. and they turned out to be undercover crackhead. So
you mean the guy that I met? The guy that I met?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So this is why this book came about.
Oh my goodness.
Because I didn't know back then because I was living it. But when I saw it in this person's eyes, everything came forward. I was like, oh, I've seen this before, right? But when I saw it before, I saw it in the fight of raising my family. Now I'm a full-grown woman and I'm dating someone, and I saw that look in his eyes, and I said, oh, I've seen this before. And everything just came, just came flooding in. And that's when I thought about the struggles and the things that I had then, and how I had that internal struggle with crack while, because my internal with crack was the look of my family, the look, the power and everything that we had. It was taken away because of the stress of family and stuff like that, is why he turned to that drug,
Right.
Being a father and all of that kind of stuff. So that's what happened to me. It's like it came full circle. I was like, oh, this is what happened back then. Right. And it just all metaphysically flooded into my my aura, my being, everything. And I was like, damn. I had that vial in my hand, right? I had, it was a part of me. It was, it became my existence. Your significant other's a crackhead. That was a part of my existence.
That is crazy, man. That you even went through all of that you went through, and that book was birthed out. Because I met him. I remember we was all at the pool together. We was all in New Orleans chilling, man. He seemed like a nice guy,
He is a nice guy, but he just, what happened was he has periods where, I guess it could be like 10 months, 12 months, and he's good. But then something comes and triggers it, and that's it. So that's what happened. Something came and triggered it, and because I didn't know, I had no idea. It wasn't. Wow. I was clueless.
Wow. And family, once again, and I'm not gonna say the whole book. Y'all gotta go get the book yourself, family. This book is hold on, let me put myself in front. This book is called Harmony's Vial: The Untold Story of Crack, the Rock of Ages. I'm telling you, it's not a thick book, so it's a very good book to get. And if you come into New Black Wall Street while we're gonna have Paris over there, you could probably get the book. She should have it available there. But she also got her new Reiki book. I mean, she got a book on Reiki. The girl ain't playing over here. She got, how many books do you have out there?
13.
13 books, Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy. I only got 5, but I'm gonna write 5 more. I'm doing my thing. I ain't doing 13, but I only want to do 5 more and keep moving. But 13 books. But you just put out this Reiki book. Why did you decide to put out the Reiki book? What is Reiki from? So for those who don't know what it is, please.
Well, Reiki is, it's tied to, different cultures. Yeah. But I discovered Reiki through the laying on of hands of Jesus. Right. The laying on, when Jesus talks about laying on of hands, he was talking about Reiki, right? And I became a Reiki master, and it is something that I practice every day, and it's something that the journey of becoming a practitioner is so amazing. And people had so many questions, and I said, I'm just gonna put it in a book and this book was mainly for Black women, because the things that we deal with internally, we don't necessarily know how to express them. So Reiki helps you to redirect that energy. It helps you to use that energy. It is literally what Jesus did with the laying on of hands. So the traumas and the things that we suffer, Reiki is it. Reiki is it. Reiki it is so powerful. It's just redirecting the energy that is trapped inside you. And it could be from all kinds of reasons. And we may not even know. But as you go through the attunement, as you go through with this, with the teacher, they're going to guide you through some things. And then you're going to have the power of doing Reiki.
Now, can Reiki help with people that have gone through that drug abuse and all that too?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
How does that work? Did you try it with your mate one time or no? Did you try to get something like
I didn't know. Once I knew he wasn't my mate no more.
It wasn't your mate.
So I couldn't try nothing, right?
Right. But
Right,
you said it can help.
but I am working with someone who was stopping smoking cigarettes. So I have worked with lots of people with different things. So it depends on where you are in the process, if you're ready for it. But yeah, there are things, that we do to help you to center that energy, to use it for yourself, but to remove those blockages. Because mentally, we have things that we have inside of our head that we could be traveling with from. And for me, I think it's Kashik. I don't think it's this lifetime. I can't imagine that the things that we've have experienced is in this lifetime, because it's so dense. It's so heavy. We're so heavy laden with it that I believe that this is stuff that we bring forward with us. But Reiki just helps you to use that energy to move it. There's just the laying on of hands, and then there are just the different symbols and stuff that are used and stuff like that. But it is something that I want every Black woman, all women, but I know Black women. Right. But I want every Black woman to be introduced to it and aware of it. That's all I want, because it has saved me. It has helped me with understanding, that I am not my mind. I'm not my mind. The things that are going on in my mind, that's there could be memories from all kinds, like the book, like crack, right?
Right.
But I don't have to carry that. And Reiki helps you to move that energy.
Right. And family, I don't have all 13 of our books, but the ones I do have are very good books. The Cardology University Planner.
Well, there's a new one that just came out of the University Planner for 2025 on my website. That was my first one. That one.
Yeah, that was your first one. I got that. So tell people about how to use a Cardology University.
Well, it is, I have there are 12 months in a year. Like, this is the month of January, which we know is a Queen of Spades month. So the planner helps you to go through the month. Every day has a card. Like, we know today's card is the Queen of Diamonds. So each day in the planner, you get a chance. It's a planner journal. So you get a chance to journal in the energy of the day. I believe today is a Queen of Diamonds day, right? Not by no strange coincidence. It is my personality card. I'm on your show, right? So I believe that if we can use the energy of the day, we can be more productive. This is a Saturn. This energy is not easy. This is not Queen of Diamonds energy. This is Mercury Saturn. It's not. Mercury and Saturn should never be together. They don't, because Mercury is quick. It wants to move. And Saturn is limitations. So this is a day where people may have found themselves a little bit more, touchy-feely. Now, you have to have good boundaries, because, Mercury is detached. So you have to have good boundaries when you're a Queen of Diamonds. So today, people may have found themselves more comfortable with not giving a hoot. Like today is, I said what I said, right?
That's right. And keep it moving. That's right. Big up to Pray 7. Thank you very much, Pray 7, for your donation. Another book that I have is called the 369 Manifestation Journal. Tell us about this book, Manifestation.
Well, this is the 369 Manifest Journal. I did that. We did a clubhouse room, and that's when I met the crackhead. I manifested him. I write about him in that journal.
Wait a minute. Was he your client?
No, he wasn't my client. Okay. He was but I met him. We did a manifestation room on Clubhouse, 30 days manifestation. I believe it was with the King of Clubs. And he came into my life. He's a Queen of Diamonds, and his transformation card is the King of Clubs. So, and I wrote about him in that book too.
Wow. And because you practice all these different modalities, and a lot of people might in certain circles might consider it pseudo and crazy, but they don't understand, that there's regular science and then there's metaphysical science. And if you study, like I got I got Nikola. People say, white boys will say, oh, you pronouncing it wrong. Nikola Tesla. I got his biography and his autobiography. And there was times when this man would, if he couldn't discover something or he couldn't come up with something, he would take a rest and probably dream about it, or the thought would just come to, like, and a lot of people, and that's where science and metaphysics need to find their connection. What brought you into dealing into these different modalities that you study and now putting out in books and all that? What brought you into that? Let the audience know that, please.
Well, when I was 14 years old, me and my cousin were dabbling in the world of boys.
The world of boys.
Boys are boys. And back then, everything was about your sign. It's like when we met each other, that's all we talked about is, oh, your sign, and we were hanging out someplace, and, we was all over Brooklyn. I couldn't tell you where I was at, but we happened on a Black Panther meeting, right? Mm-hmm. And they were talking about astrology, and we just wanted to go inside and be with the brothers.
It's like that.
And that's where it started.
Wow. Hey, I'm glad that type of energy can help. Looking for the brothers.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. And then sometime later, my father introduced me to Lloyd Strahorn, which was numerology.
Yeah.
I think before then, I was in Phil Valentine's class. He taught he teaches metaphysics. Right, so I was in his class. It was in the 80s. I was in his class. Yeah. And then Khalid Muhammad was my imam in the 80s. So, I was into, him. So he was,
of course.
Oh, he was fire, right? He was fire, right? Yeah. He was a very powerful, and to find out he was a 2 of spades, which was my mother's card. And I am Uranus to that energy. So he was very impactful. But I've just traveled, throughout life.
Right.
Especially those times in Brooklyn, it was always, you go someplace, somebody always had a flyer. This is happening, that is happening. And whether they were talking about metaphysics or not, because I'm in this time right now, they were, they were, Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark and Jeffries and all of those people were talking metaphysically. Right. Maybe not, necessarily saying the things how we say it, but they pointed to where we are today. So
right, yeah.
My journey was just following the ancestors and learning and just being available to be at the next place. But back then I didn't learn Google astrology. I didn't learn Google numerology. Back then, Lloyd Strahorn always talks about how you had to have a paper bag around the book because people be like, what are you reading and stuff like that. So So, we used to just come together, we called it back then the underground. We were underground.
Yeah. Matter of fact, back in those days, I had Montauk Chia's book, but I had a paper bag over it. Of course, he talking about sex. You just don't want to be disrespectful to the train.
Yeah, on the train, right? On the train with our covers on our books.
About how to get the big draw.
Yeah.
Man, big up to him. He's still alive and well, doing his thing on Instagram. I watch him on Instagram, still doing his thing. And big up to Wayne Chandler also, who used to also be amongst those greats, doing what they had to do. Nina, when it comes to a lot of these metaphysical sciences, a lot of people in religion, they use it, but they don't want to admit that they use it. That's what I noticed. I even noticed that people acknowledge their birthdays, but they don't want to admit that they acknowledge their born days and all that, especially in the quote unquote atheist or scientific community. I just had a little conversation with them on Dr. Ma'at's recently on her channel. And they was asking me questions and really coming at it, calling it pseudo and all that. I said, but there's a metaphysics science, there's a science, but you just don't get that spiritual side that you're supposed to get and don't understand the spiritual side. It's like intuition is pseudo to them. I mean, intuition?
I'm telling you, how was that? We were in the age of Pisces, that's over. And what is significant about this year for the practitioners that we have Saturn, Neptune conjunction, this is going to open up. I'm telling you, metaphysics is getting ready to open up in ways that you can't imagine, because people are going to be leaving the church by the droves. People are going to want answers this year. This is a 9 of Hearts year, and the 9 of Hearts rules churches. So, and that's Saturn. So people are going to be asking questions now, and they're not going to get the answers. So they're going to be coming to these sciences by the droves.
You know, but what's so interesting, Nina, because of what happened with Billy Carson and that guy, the Christian guy, a lot of people is now running back to the church. But I think, you know, a lot of the scholars that understand, like a Wesley Muhammad, Dr. Wesley Muhammad, who can debate somebody like that real hard because because he knows his stuff. And, you know, the nation, although people think the nation is just a religion, they also into metaphysics, especially with Tanetta Muhammad.
Yeah, and they into the cause hard too. They into Nation of Islam. Oh, but you know, Chicago is where a lot of this stuff started.
Right. So I think you're right from the sense that people are leaving the church, but yet some people are actually going back to the church from their own perspective. But again, you're going to see that back and forth. You're going to see that. Because I don't even debate with my own father, and he's a straight up minister. I don't even get into debates with him, but I try to express it in a very easy way that he can handle what I'm saying when it comes to numerology and the study of numbers and all that kind of stuff. Before we finish, I want to make sure that people understand that, hey, y'all can get my sister's books. Matter of fact, let me show you her website. It's a beautiful website. This is the same one that was designed by Jackie, right?
Yes, Jackie did that.
Yeah, look at this website here. You can go to her website. Let me show y'all the website, of course, is right here. Of course, not that one. Here it is. That's her website, levinuniversity.com. That's Levin University. Beautiful website. And of course, she got a lot going on here. Live instructions, alumni corner, teaching community, mission and offerings, certification and purpose, sign up for classes. You got all of this going on here. You know, now with you, my dear, what legacy that Nina Dunham or Neena Diamond wants to leave in this realm? What legacy do you want?
Me, I want to be the, you know how they'll have the time capsule? I want them to come back, and I'm writing a book on that too. I want them to come back and have questions and Google me or whatever they have in the future. And I come up and I can help them make sense of this time. You know, and it's for my grandkids. I want my grandkids, you know, great, all the way down into, I want them to be able to say, that was my grandmother, that's my ancestor. So yeah, absolutely. I want to leave that, because, you know, the Pluto return was the 4th of July last year, right? And that's 248 years it takes for Pluto to return, right? So we are in the new world order, and we get a chance to build this out. We get a chance to structure it. We get a chance to be like in 1776. We are now right here in 2025, where we get a chance to tell the story now. Before, we couldn't tell the story. Now we get a chance to tell the story in books. We get a chance to tell the story on the internet. We get a chance to tell the story. So when people are looking back at this time, they can see the impact that we had. And that's what I want.
That's right. Let's give that a round of applause. Let me give that a round of applause. So that's exactly what I want to do also. And just leave a clear, concise energy about what we did and how we affected, how we turned, we shift paradigm, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? There's a paradigm shift, and we're right in the midst of it right now.
Yeah, and what's so for you is what's so powerful is Pluto is in Aquarius. So Pluto is in Aquarius in 20 years, you ain't gonna recognize this world. After Pluto finishes, and see, that's the thing where people are upset about the fires, which I understand devastation, but Pluto is going to destroy everything. It has to, in order for it to be rebuilt. And we are not loving and caring about community. So now our hands are being forced, where we're going to have to take care of each other. Those people are going to need some place to live, right? So as a community, we're going to have to rally around people and be better. So it's going to be, I ain't going to hold you. It's going to hurt. It's gonna hurt. Pluto is not gonna come and say, "Are you okay?" No, it's gonna lick you on the back of your neck.
Right, let you know. And a lot of people are moving from LA right now. I hear they're going to Florida, they're going to Georgia, they're coming to Georgia. I mean, Layla Ali is here. I didn't even know she was here in Georgia. Clarissa Shields is here in Georgia. You know what I'm saying?
But do you see all the buildings that are going up here?
Yeah,
I keep asking, what are they preparing for? And bam, look at this.
People moving.
I mean, Georgia I have never seen such building in the last like 5 years that I've seen. So yeah, they got ahead of it. Georgia's about that life now. Georgia does prepare, right?
What card is Georgia under? What card is
the Queen of Spades?
Okay, all right.
This is the month. This is the Queen of Spades month.
That's right. Well, my dear, I want to thank you so much for coming on and sharing.
Absolutely.
That was fun. It was fun. I know it was a different one. Again, y'all see me do a different one. I did something different with Lloyd last time. I did something with Neena. A little different because I want people to get their life. And when I got this book from her, it was like, whoa. And when I started reading it, I was like, whoa.
I gave it to Blue Pill. I can't wait to see when he gets a chance to read it.
That's gonna be crazy when Blue read it, especially from his own perspective. And it just goes to show me it shows how important it is to be aware. What do you have to say to those that either got off of crack or any type of substance abuse? What do you think they need to do now as we're transcending to other levels in this metaphysical world and this physical world? What do you think they need to do? Those that used to abuse drugs and all that stuff, please.
Well, for me, it's really looking internally, and that's why Reiki is so important to me. It's doing that internal work because my generation, Pluto and Virgo, we tried to make sense of stuff that didn't make sense. So once we heal those parts of us, there's no problem doing drugs. My thing is when you feel bad about doing it. If you can do drugs and feel like I want to do drugs, I just like getting high, you okay. Right. But it's when you hide and you steal and you do all of that kind of craziness that your spirit is not in alignment with, that's not good. So when you heal those parts of you, there are things that you'll no longer have desires for. You'll replace it with other things. You'll become lighter. And that's what you want to do. You want your heart to be light as a feather. And you want to be able to first, do that self-care for yourself and be prepared and prepare for where you want to be, because we're in the new world order. You don't want to be left behind.
Right. That's right. You don't want to be left behind. And I hope people take that to heart. And people, please go to her website, of course, her link tree, support her through Cash App and PayPal. And also remember, family, she does have an Instagram. Also, her Instagram is right here at the back here at IG at diamonds_8. Make sure you support all that she's doing. Thank you so much, Neena.
Thank you. I will see you over there at the end of the month.
Yeah. I might be passing through there probably a little soon to survey the area because of Brother Rich and everything. And we got to make sure the security is even more tighter now that Billy is going to be on the stage. We want to make sure nobody crazy come up on that stage.
That ain't happening. That place, that's so magical there. When it's so magical that I hate it for them. I really hate it for them if they try anything crazy like that.
Yeah. And tell people where you at the New Black Wall Street. What's your booth number?
I'm in the back on Madam C.J. Walker Boulevard, in the back, one in the dark.
Right. And are you going to how long are you still going to be there, or are you still moving?
I'm moving. I'll be there till February the 1st.
So my birthday, huh? That's my born day. So okay, I got it. We better have a party.
I know, right? I
know. All right, Neena. Thank you very much for being
here. Peace.
Love and respect. Peace and love. That's right. That's our girl, Neena. Our family want to thank, of course, our dear Neena for coming in. Aquarius Maximus mothership. That's a mothership right there. That's the one she came out. You know what I'm saying? So you know what? I'm gonna see if I call Aquarius to see if she wants to come on, because Aquarius, how she got the guap coin. I'm part of the guap community, so I understand that. But big up to her. She was on the Breakfast Club doing her thing. But we just had Neena Diamond, her mother, in the building, Healing Through the Rock of Ages. Make sure you get that book, man, because this book is a very powerful book, because the way she wrote it was so interesting that I think it should become a movie. If anything, she should submit this to Tyler Perry right now. See if Tyler Perry would jump on it and make it happen. That would be nice. Again, family, want to remind everybody, join my membership. You know how we do. We got a lot of lessons over there in my membership. About 100 or more lessons in my membership. I don't even know what I'm going to teach on tomorrow. I haven't even figured out. I might not even teach on anything tomorrow. I might just relax and take it. But I know I'm going to have to probably do something. And again, I want to thank each and every one of y'all for being on my journey. And respect to Jamel Simmons that's coming in the building. This is a good brother, man. I've known him for many years. Jamel Simmons and his mother and his sister and his father. I've known them for many years. Danny Simmons is a great artist. I'm trying to get Danny on also. I'm not trying to get Russell Simmons. I'm trying to get Danny Simmons on. But Russell is his nephew, and so is MC Run, is also his uncle. He's also the nephew of Russell Simmons and his uncle Run. But I'm trying to get Danny on for his artist and his great expertise in the artwork. And also coming up, Cheyenne Black is supposed to be coming up around 2 o'clock that evening, that afternoon also. Remember, Lloyd Strahorn got something coming up on the 21st, the Power Series and how to turn numerology into a career on February 25th. Kendall Cobbs is going to be coming with hypnotherapist on the 22nd. Make sure you go to our website right here, hypnosiswithkendall.com. Paris is going to be in town on the 25th. I'll be there to support at the New Black Wall Street. On the 26th, Professor James Smalls and Professor Griff is going to be in the building at 8 p.m. right here on King Simon Presents. And don't forget my calendar, Adara Moselle. I've been sharing her links. Adara Moselle, February 2nd. Wayne Lightworker, February 5th. Ross Kofi, February 9th. Abundance Child and John Carr, February the 12th, is going to be in the building on King Simon Presents on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Instagram, simulcast. And we're going to do it. We're going to have Brother Tony in the building from Dr. Blair's place called the Meta Center 2 and the Meta Center Chicago. First time ever I'm going to interview Brother Tony. All right, sisters and brothers. And also Dr. Philip Valentine and Brother Sabir will be in the building. On the 8th, we're going to be at the 9 Ether God Fest with so many people that's speaking. Sister Myra Mars, Dr. B is performing. Brother Billy is performing. I'll be one of the MCs. We got Blue Pill going to be in the building. Brother Sharif Bey going to be in the building. We got a whole host of it. Bedell is going to be in the building. Q Reeves is going to be in the building. Brother Yusuf is going to be in the building. We're going to be there. Are you going to be there? Make sure you go to Eventbrite and put in the words 9 Ether God Fest. 9 Ether God Fest and Eventbrite, and make sure you go and lock in. He's almost sold out. He's almost sold out. I'm telling you. Big up to my moderators, of course, Color Curiosity. Make sure you feng shui your life through Color Curiosity. Big up to my dear friend, Dr. Shakira Moore, who just did a fabulous class on lymphatic system and cleansing the lymphatic system. A new book is coming out also. Make sure y'all go to Linktree/Holistica Healer. February 15th is the pre-orders. It's going to be released this year, so make sure y'all support what the sister's doing. Remember, Adara Moselle. Make sure you go to adaramoselle.com. She does free consultation. She does energy healing, negative energy removal, personal power activation, and so much more. Make sure you scan the QR code or go to her namesake, adaramoselle.com. And do remember, get her book called Higher Self Harmony. Scan the QR code or go to our Linktree/Adara Moselle. Big up to my girl Paris Williams. Instagram, PW Collection LLC. YouTube, Saturn's Daughter 47. Website, www.pwcollection.com. And don't forget, Irama, I will be here at the Reggae Awards. Reggae World Beat Awards is going to be off the hook on March the 30th in Coral Springs, Florida. And if you got your taxes, you want to get your taxes done not only in America, but in Canada, contact DTR Taxes LLC. Tell them King Simon sent you. 862-314-6039. And if you want to do cartomancy or Reiki master or get a yoga teacher by this beautiful sister, this sister Amira is on fire. Hit her up at 302 588-7749. Big up to my son that's doing car detailing, pressure wash, dumpster wash. He come to your house and do what he got to do. Prices start at $33. All you have to do is hit him up at 512-429-9522. And remember my son in New York with Green Studio NYC. Hit him up at 9294-563009. And remember, if you want to book a session with me, please text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. Text me your email also so I can send you the details and we will make it happen. Also, don't forget my books on Amazon, or you can go to my linktree/King Simon the Numerator. Remember, the new book is coming out in a few. The next children's book is coming out, and my autobiography is coming out. It's going to be powerful. Powerful. I'm telling you. Remember what Dr. B says. I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection, and I'm thankful for my life. Remember what Dr. Blair used to say. Please, Universal Creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth in your love now. By Dr. Delbert Blair. Remember, on the 13th, we're going to have Brother Tony, the one who's taking care of the Mental Center right now. That was started by the late Dr. Delbert Blair. Family, have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Be safe, be great, be wonderful in all that you do. Thank y'all very much. Remember, I love you because I love me. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Peace.
Numerovation with King Simon. Text me now at 347-496-1022. You can also take my course if you want to, but do text me for your sessions at 347-496-1022. You can also get my books on Amazon at linktree/King Simon the Numerator. Remember, you can book your session and get it done right now. 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. King Simon the Numerator.
Get ready. The 42nd International Reg and World Music Awards Show is coming to the Coral Springs Center for the Arts, Fort Lauderdale on Sunday, March 20, 2025. Celebrate the biggest names in reggae and world music as we bring nations together through music and culture. Early bird tickets are on sale now. Don't miss out. Grab yours today at thecentercs.com or irama.com and book your stay for an unforgettable weekend. Hurry, prices go up after Thanksgiving. Follow us on social media and visit our website, www.irawma.com, for more details. The 42nd Irama Show, where the world comes to celebrate music.
Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
So remember, our job as studiers of these metaphysical, esoteric knowledge is to help enhance people to be better. I, as a numerator, using the numbers, or quote-unquote numerals, and motivation to get people to understand why they need to activate their numbers to be their very best self and maximize it. Because
The numerals hold a frequency. And if you're willing to turn up that frequency, then that frequency can help to guide you and navigate you to a higher height that will allow you to spiral to be your best self. We must remember that.